Okay. So I forgot to add the headsets that I got and then the ones I got for my daughter. I forgot to put them in the community wall. I will do that today. You guys, I'm still in the healing process with this whole entire situation pertaining to my ex. And it's really heavy. It's just going to take some time for me to kind of process through what has happened because there's so much that has happened. And like I told you guys yesterday, I really hope that his wife would get out of the marriage that she's in because I strongly believe that she's in a very dangerous situation with my ex, especially when these men are in very dark energy. And this is another thing I want you ladies to understand. A lot of these men are operating under dark triad energy. These are, men who have undiagnosed medical conditions that have not been diagnosed. I told you guys that, um, and I don't know why I'm led to say this, but a lot of these men who work in like law enforcement, military, anything that kind of puts them into a position of power, it gives them this urge of energy to exhort their abuse or power, authority of power on people. And this is why you guys see all of this like police brutality and stuff, and against marginalized communities. I'm just letting you guys know. I haven't said this on my channel. My ex used to be a police officer, so I don't know. I just have this weird connection with meeting men who are in like law enforcement or the military. I come from a military family, and sometimes these men think that they are like these commanders in chief. They think that they can tell women what to do and all this stuff here. So a lot of these men have serious, serious psychological issues. And these men under this system, they're driven by ego, they're driven by pride, they're driven by manipulation. And this is what I was seeing in the courtroom with my ex. It's all performative acting with you men. It's all performative acting with you men. You men just put on a drama show. My son does it. He just creates a fucking scenario that does not exist, and he just creates drama. And men love attention, and when you're not giving them attention, ladies, they get louder with whatever they're doing. Um, my son does it. He'll just get in the house and start screaming for no freaking reason, and then you guys have to understand that we're in a matriarchal environment in my house, and we just look at him like, what? Um, Men just love creating drama. It's fucking draining. And I'm telling you, ladies, y'all need to stop birthing so many men. Please stop birthing so many of them. It's nerve wracking. It's draining. It's draining. Okay. Oh man, a lot of these men are operating under toxic masculinity energy. They're operating under psychological issues. Men just thrive on drama, chaos, toxicity, toxic masculinity. When they can't get their way, they create scenarios so that the attention is drawn back on them. It's all narcissistic tendencies. I told y'all that most of these men that you're dealing with are narcissists. Most of them are sociopaths. Most of them are sadistic. Most of them are carrying dark triad energy. Um, Most of them are sociopaths. So why do you think this man is being antisocial? He's not being antisocial. Ever met a man who just refuses to share his expressions, emotions with you, his feelings with you, his vulnerability with you? It's not because he's antisocial, sis. It's because the man is a sociopath. And I know that this may be hard for some of you to believe, because most of these men who lack empathy and sympathy are sociopaths and psychopaths. I know it's crazy, and the male brain needs to really be studied. Oh man, it needs to be studied. I keep telling y'all, men and women are not the same. We are not the same genetic makeup. You know, all we need is a good 10 to 15% of you men on the planet. The rest of you have to go. You got to go because you're not doing anything for the planet. Like you're not doing anything. You're just creating havoc on the planet. You're problematic for women. You're problematic for the children. You're doing all kind of sick things to animals and babies and children. And when you men start addressing the human trafficking of women and children, when you start addressing what's going on in these animal factories, what you men are doing to animals, what you're doing inside of your families, home. Okay, so when you men start addressing your sick infatuations and fantasies with children and babies and animals and even your own biological mother, then we can start having some conversations about me giving a fuck about how you feel. Okay. And I know that you guys, I have to be mean to men because men by nature are not nice. They're predatorial and they're predatorial by nature. Most of them lack empathy and sympathy. Men do not like nice women. And I told you guys that. I'm never nice to you men, ever. Never, ever nice to you. But I bet you one thing, you're going to respect me when you come over here on this channel or when you meet me in person. I bet you that. I bet you that. I bet you're going to do that. You're not going to come over here and you're not going to disrespect me the way that you disrespect women out here in public. And you better be lucky I'm not out in public, and you better be lucky we never ever cross paths. Because I will absolutely do something to you men. Especially the shit that you guys are doing to women out here. Yeah. I don't know how you women are just so naive. I don't know. You guys got to be neutral when you're dealing with men. You got to have grayscale energy, because if you're coming in with this whole, oh, let's just love men and all this crazy shit, it's not going to work out for you. It's not going to work out for you. And when you're dealing with these men, you got to be neutral. And I'm very neutral when it comes to men. I have a very nonchalant energy when I deal with men. I mean, I have that energy in general, but I keep it very mysterious for a reason, because men tend to change. That's just how their energy moves. And I hate to tell you guys that, but yeah, all we need is a good 10 to 15% of men on the planet. That's it. That's all we need on the planet. We don't need anything more. We don't need anything beyond that 10 to 15%. I mean, a good 10% would be great. A lot of these guys are inept. They're incels. They hate women. They hate themselves. They're tired of you birthing them here. I don't know why you guys keep birthing them here. I don't understand that. And let me tell you another little thing. Men prey on women who fear them. So stop being scared of men, because they can sense that. Men know that I'm crazy. They're not, they know that they're never going to cross paths with me and do the shit that they're doing to y'all. Because when crazy meets crazy, it can be very crazy. And men, I can be very crazy. I can be very crazy. If you ever cross paths with me and do the shit that you're out here doing to women, putting your hands on women and all this weird shit that you men do, yeah. So be mindful of that. Okay, so somebody's in the chat. I don't have my chat open. Hey sis. Oh my god. Yeah, you guys got to you got to be neutral with men. You can't be nice to them. They don't like nice women. Men love bitches, and I keep telling y'all that. Men love women like me who are coming in straight shooter, talk shit, and it turns them on. But not only does it turn them on, it drives them insane when women are not being nice and cordial and all this pink bunnies and flowers. Men don't care about all of that shit. They don't care. They don't care. What men do with women like me, they just constantly keep challenging us every day, all day. Speaking of that, Tracy just did a live about why men do not pursue pygmies. Pygmies, pygmies, pygmies. Please come to the front of the row. Please come get these men. Who is this parked in the front of my yard? Because I don't want to have to go in my house and get my concealed weapon. That's why. And they're literally parked in the front of my yard. I hope it's not my ex, you guys. I really hope it's not him. Okay, this person just, because look, I will go and get my concealed weapon and lay it right here on this chair because I never go anywhere without it. Never. The only place that I will never bring my concealed weapon is in the courthouse, a church, a nursing home, a hospital. Out of respect, never do that. Mm-mm. Certain places prohibit those types of weapons. Check your state laws before you start going into these places with a weapon, a concealed weapon. But yeah, you guys, I can be crazy. I think y'all can sense that. Okay, Akina's just not somebody to play with. I'm not. I'm not somebody to be played with. And men can sense that. And women like me are a challenge for men who think that they can have the upper hand. And this is what this is about with men. It's all about exhorting their dominance and authoritarian energy and how we can get women back up under our fingers. That's what it's about with men. You're dominating spaces and areas. No, you're not going to dominate shit. You're not going to dominate anything over here. You're not going to rule anything over here. Okay? But Tracy just, like I said, she just did a live about why men don't pursue pygmies. You guys are too easy for men. You're too easy for them. They like women who will stand up against them. They like women who will not open up their legs for them. They like women who are going to stand in their boss babe energy, independent energy. Here's this car again. Yeah, you guys, I'm very observative. And I sit back and I watch and I observe things because I don't know, like I told you guys yesterday, I don't know what's going on with men now. I will say this, that what's happening on the planet spiritually is affecting men. And see, men, what happens is when you don't do the work, you don't do the healing, you don't heal yourself of the trauma and the baggage that you're carrying, you tend to project that outward. And that energy begins to touch everything that you come into encounter with. And when you start dibbling and dabbling into things and interfering with energy and manipulating energy, eventually that energy is going to come back and bite you in the ass. Men have convinced themselves that they can do what they want to do on the planet without there being any consequences to their actions, because the patriarchal system uplifts them. The patriarchal system condones their bad behavior. And what's happening to these men? What's happening with you men? You men are dealing with karmic stuff right now. You're dealing with karmic energy because you refuse to do the inner work. You refuse to heal. You refuse to go and get therapy. You refuse to go and take accountability for the shit that you're doing. You refuse to go and repent for how you got out here and hurt women, how you got out here and hurt people. You're not a good person. You're not a good person. Many of you are you're operating in devil energy, okay? You're operating in devil energy. There's not a time I don't pull my oracle cards and the devil card does not pull up for the man. There's not a time I don't pull that card and the devil energy comes up. What is the devil card in the oracle deck? The most toxic card in the whole entire oracle deck. You want to know something crazy? I pulled the devil card and the lover's card for a man. I thought that was so crazy. So when you have the devil card, the lover's card, and the tower card next to each other, that's catastrophic energy right there. I actually pulled some cards for an individual who's carrying that type of energy. You want to know what that kind of relationship is? It's a love-hate relationship where an individual is operating in toxic energy, but then there's a spiritual connection there. It's crazy. It's crazy work. But when I'm looking at the energy of most men, their energy is very manipulative. It's very toxic. It's devilish, ghoulish energy. You can literally see a man and a woman hooked together with a ring in the middle. That's the patriarchal system. So, like I told you guys, and then you can see the little bitty mini devils behind them because that is the man's ego. What it is, you men are operating under ego, pride, jealousy, enviness, manipulation, lust. That sounds like the 7 deadly sins, doesn't it? But when I tell you guys that men are the devil, no, Akina, what are you saying? I'm saying that most of the men that you're meeting are the devil. They're operating under devilish energy. They're the devil. It's toxic. It's nasty work. And you know, these men, what I believe is happening, I believe they're under karmic stuff right now. I believe that most of these men who are lashing out on women are under karmic stuff right now. You're under judgment spiritually, but not only that, you're being dealt with spiritually because of how you've been acting here on the planet. You cannot get out here and hurt people and not expect karma to come back to you, because what goes around comes around. We're under universal laws. And this is why I told you, black women, that be careful what comes out of your mouth. Be careful what you do. Be careful who you surround yourself around in this particular season. Because as long as you're dealing with toxic people, anything that they're associated with, it's going to come back on you. Be careful of the friends that you keep and be mindful of the enemies that are around you. That is my advice for you, black women. Be very careful in this particular season because we are in the age of Aquarius. Everybody's getting exposed. Everybody is getting exposed. And these men are going to find a way to wiggle themselves through the system because it is their little safety net. And they refuse to let this toxic system go. And it's hurting not only them, it's hurting the women and the children and everything that they're connected to. Another thing I'm being led to say, be careful of these boy moms. The ones who will say, well, my son is the exception. He'll never hurt a woman. My son is different. I trained my son. Be careful of the boy moms. What they've done, they've damaged their sons beyond repair. And a lot of them are angry because you're not going to pick their sons. And the men don't want the pick-me's because the pick-me's are too easy for them. You know, the ones who don't mind shutting up and getting a shut up ring and getting their head knocked across the washing machine and the dryer. The one who does not have a problem sleeping with a man who's giving her an STD and saying, oh, I just went to the urgent care clinic. I just went to the doctor and I got something and I'm all cleared up. Yeah, those are the pick-me's. They will do anything to have a man. Anything. Listen to me, anything. They will be willing to let that man touch on their daughters and their sons just to say that they got a man. Yeah, you know, when I see a pick-me, you guys got to understand those types of women who are operating in that type of energy, they irritate me. They irritate me. They bother my entire existence. These are the most dangerous types of women. They are the types of women who will set up other women to get hurt by men just to get entertainment off of that. Do I have any friends that are pick-me's? No. Do I have friends who are pro-black women? Yeah. And I'm not talking about where they will come in and defend black women from other types of men, right? The friends that I have, they're all about pro-black love and pro-black unity and this and that. They're still stuck in that energy. And I'm over here like, girl, you need to go get your swirl on. You know, girl, you need to just get outside of that mentality and date out. They have that type of, they don't have that type of mentality, but their mentality, because they were uprooted like that, is to literally see black men as the end all to their whole entire existence. And they looked at me and say, Akina, girl, you need to, they tried it, girl, you need to date some chocolate. And I'm like, don't do that to me. You know, don't do that. They said, oh, we know you the bougie suburban type. We already know. But they're bougie too. You know, but they live in the suburb too. But they live in the suburb where black people who are kind of middle class and upper class live, right? They don't live in the hood. They don't live in the hood. If they were here, you guys would consider them divested, even though, you know, I guess you would see them as divested, even though they're with a black man, but their husbands did not want their wives in the hood. And I tried that. I asked one of my friend girl's husband, not the one who came on to me. No, they don't live in the hood, but you can still tell that. You can tell that my friend girl's husband is kind of, I'm not going to say ghetto. I'm not going to say hood. I don't know what word you would call him. He's kind of like, not thuggish. He's like a street type. But he's educated. It's really weird, you guys. It's really weird, you know. Anyways, I tried this with some of my friend girl's husband, and they were like, who? Who's going to the hood? And they were like, no, we don't do the hood stuff over here. You know, we don't live in the hood. You know, but you guys would consider them to be like the bougie types, you know, like divested if you didn't know that their husbands were black. And I tried that just to be sarcastic, and their husbands and them were like, Akina, are you high? And I'm like, no, I'm not high. I'm like, y'all want to ever move to the hood? And they were like, no, we don't live like that. But then they don't understand divestment because they're so used to dating within their own race with their own kind. You know what I'm saying? It's really weird. So if they were to come here, they wouldn't even understand divestment. They would be trying to learn it on my channel. Like, what is this? What is this? But they know that I'm outside of the box, so they don't pressure me in any type of way. But the question has been asked, and I'm like, don't do that. And they were like, oh, we know you don't want to be bothered, but have you ever considered? And I'm like, what you talking about, girl? What you talking about? Don't do that to me. Don't do. And that's the part that kind of confuses me with black men who think that black women are traitors and bed wenches. Excuse me, there are some of us out here who don't have no experiences with you black men at all, period. So I don't know what part y'all don't get. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Nowadays most men want to be women themselves. The reason for, yeah, it's really weird. And, oh man, this is the mess out here. Yeah, they're out here. The only logical explanation that I can, okay, let me just say this: everything is in reverse. Everything is in reverse. You got men wanting to be women. You got women out here operating in masculine energy. And it is because the patriarchal system is not a natural system. It was not the first system that was ever here on the planet. Man was not the first species here on the planet. I highly recommend you guys go get the book. I have it in my catalog of books, The Origins of the Patriarchal System and the Matriarchal System. The first system that was ever here on the planet was women and the matriarchal system. And we are going back to that system. We're going back to those traditions and how and where it all began. The patriarchal system is an artificial system that was put here to control mankind. Just like religion, just like these different races, these different belief systems. It's very deep, you guys. It is so deep. And we have to go back to the beginning, because what's happening here is there's too many men on the planet, and the planet is out of order. It is chaotic. It is out of order. And when things are out of order, there is no harmony on the planet. There's no peace on the planet. All you hear about is chaos, violence, rumors of wars, famine, diseases, etc. This is what happens when you put men in a position of leadership and you expect them to lead civilization. We're not going anywhere here. We're literally in hell because, number one, there's too many, way too many men on the planet. You guys understand there is supposed to be a male and a female for each ratio. When I look at trees, as someone who's worked in the herbalist field, I'm into the herbalism world, I can tell the difference between a female plant and a male plant. There is supposed to be a ratio, 1-to-1, 2-to-1. There should not be this many men there's way too many men on the planet. When you look at the White House, you barely see women in the White House. When you look at any political fields, you barely see many women in like positions of power. Same thing with plants. There's just too many. There's too many men on the planet. Way too many, and the planet is out of order. It's not operating in equilibrium or any kind of harmony. And this is why all of this is happening. And what's happening, Mother Nature is fighting back. This is why you guys are seeing all of these natural events are happening, tsunamis, earthquakes, things like that, because it's too chaotic. It's too chaotic. And what's happening with these men who are out here taking themselves out is because they cannot handle the shifts of the planet right now. As you women begin to operate under matriarchal energy, it's going to shift out things on the planet. It's going to shift things out. As you're operating in an energy of self-love, it is going to balance things out, because things have to be balanced out. Right now, there's absolutely too many men on the planet. There's too much masculine energy on the planet, even in the wildlife, even in the animal kingdom. Do you guys understand that the feminine animals or species, they pretend to play dead so that they are not available to certain masculine energies? And that's why I keep telling you guys that not every man is supposed to have access to a woman. Not every man is supposed to have access to reproducing here on the planet because of his genetic material and where he's at evolution wise. Yes, this is some Darwinism, natural selection, evolution type stuff that's happening right now. I can't really get off into the details because it gets way deeper than just you women getting out here opting out of not dealing with certain men. It gets really deep. There's a lot going on here. Um, on multiple levels that I really can't get off into because my channel would get taken down. But there's certain factors going on here, environmental factors. I don't know if they're putting something in the food. I don't know if they're putting something in the air. I don't know if it's something in the medicine that's got men going crazy. I did tell you guys there's a movie called The Crazies, where in this particular town, you can go and watch it on Amazon Prime, Netflix, or whatever. In this town, um, there was something that was airborne put into the air, and it was driving people crazy, and they started attacking themselves and they started attacking everyone around them. And the only people who were not affected were the people who did not get contaminated, which ended up in the whole entire movie ended up being a woman and a man and their child. um So I'm just letting you guys know that I don't know, something spiritually is happening with these men that's driving them crazy, especially the ones who are out here taking out their wives and their girlfriends. Um it's something metaphysically happening to these men spiritually. I think it's karmic stuff that's happening to them that's causing them to react and respond like this. And they're just out here taking out their partners. They're taking out their partners, and they're doing it without any kind of repercussions or anything like that. Um, because something is driving them to this point of no return. The ones who are out here unaliving themselves and unaliving their partners. A guy just recently did this here in my area, not too far from here. He took out his girlfriend, and then he attempted to take out himself, and then he ended up dying like last week. Um, so it was considered like a MS situation, the M word, S word, right? So that is what I'm talking about, you guys. I think these men who are not evolving are the ones who are doing this. These demonic types of men are doing this. Um, they have nothing to lose. They know that they're never going to get laid. They know that they're never going to get a relationship. So they're just taking themselves out. Because men cannot function on the planet without the feminine energy. And I told you guys that men cannot function on the planet without the feminine energy. So without men having access to women, they tend to age faster. I don't know if you guys are noticing that some of these men are starting to look older than what they are. Because you guys are like feeding them. You're feeding them spiritually, you're feeding them mentally, and you're just you're keeping them in existence. Well, my dad is a good man. Well, that's great. You know, my uncle's a great man. That's great. But your dad, your uncle, your brother, your husband, your boyfriend does not speak for the millions of incels here. Like there's too many of them here, and the freaking planet can't breathe. And all of the resources are being taken up because men are just consuming everything. They're harvesting everything for themselves. And it's just not enough resources to go around. You guys, this is where we're going for civilization, is like some kind of utopian 25 experiment. And it's one big experiment that's happening here, and this is all like government orchestrated. You know, how many people can be in a city and populate a city without taking themselves out and resources? It's crazy, you guys. There's just too many people here, you guys. This is what these powers that are saying. You know what I'm saying? They're saying there's too many people here and there needs to be an expunge of people. So what am I saying? I'm saying that we're dealing with some type of deep agenda, which I can't get off into. It's deep, you guys. And the more I want to talk about it, the more I can't get off into it, because it is like some kind of a deep agenda that's happening, where we're going to minimize the population, and something was given to the world and many people ran to get this particular thing that I told you guys not to get. My advice is to look into herbal remedies, look into gardening, look into hippie types of people like myself who are green thumbs. And you know, I rely on things of the planet for healing purposes. You're gonna want to focus on that. You're gonna want to focus on healing of the land, right? And growing your own food and tilling your own food, especially with all of this going on with Farmers for Trump losing their crops. What are you guys going to do when the winter comes and you don't have any vegetables or any produce in the stores because the farmers can't grow anything during the summer due to the tariffs and the fertilizer and everything that they need to be imported here, and they can't get anything because they don't have what they need? There's a whole lot of bioengineered stuff happening. A lot of your food is genetically modified. Stay away from the preservatives. Stay away from the little Debbie snacks. Stay away from eating out so much. That's causing the health problems, because the medical field needs to make money off of you as long as you're sick and dying. And you're not actually treating the problem. You're band-aiding the problem, and then they're making money off of you because you are you are their cattle. You are their product. Um, Everything that you need is in the land. I mean, everything. Start looking into farmers markets. Start looking into growing your own food. Start looking into canning. Start looking into holistic remedies. Start surrounding yourself around people who are off the grid, because I'm telling you, over the next couple of years, you're going to need to rely on people like me to survive what's coming, and what's coming down the pipeline is just not good. But I have been warning folks here what was coming down the pipeline. I have been warning you guys to get a bug out bag. Get you some emergency stockpile. Get you some water. Start stockpiling. Start getting your non perishable foods. Start looking into getting a little grill. One of those little portable grills that you can sit on your porch and you can do a little grilling, whether you grill some meats or something. Keep your freezers full. Have a solar powered generator. Have solar panels. Get you some propane and butane to run generators. Stock up on gas. And I know you can't put gas in your house, but get you some gas. Put it in some sealed lock containers. Put it behind your house, not in your garage. You want to be careful of carbon monoxide poisoning. Get you some gas. Put it somewhere away from your house where it's easily stored. Okay, look this up. I think you can put gasoline under your house or in a shed. Long as there's ventilation, where if it's being stored, I would even recommend um, building you one of those little outdoor cabinet shelves. You know what I'm talking about? Like what chicken coops are in. Get you one of those built behind your house and store gasoline and important things in there. Do not put gasoline. Do not put gasoline or any kind of propane or butane in your house due to carbon monoxide poisoning. You want to be careful of that. My recommendation is get solar panel, and you don't have to worry about carbon monoxide poisoning. I had an accident like that happen in my house a couple of years ago where I had propane tanks in my house and they started to leak. And I kid you not, if I hadn't got out of there, we would have been gone. Ended up calling EMS to come out. It was a small little tank. It wasn't the big one. They told me if it had been the big one, we'd have been dead. That was a freak accident waiting to happen. And I just do not. If you're gonna get any kind of propane, butane, get you a carbon monoxide tester in your house. My recommendation, don't put it in your house, but always keep these things in your house. A carbon monoxide tester in your house. Keep a fire extinguisher in your house. Get a smoke detector put into your house. Have something in your house that can detect carbon monoxide poisoning. Because I'm telling you, if you don't have these things in your house, it can be dangerous if you have these types of things in there, like butane, propane. Those butane tanks that people use when they're cooking outside, that kind of stuff has to be outside. And if you have to, get you a big chain and a lock and wrap that propane tank around a tree and lock it up. At least and cover it up. At least you know one thing. And one thing is for sure, that thing is not in your house. I think it has to be so many feet from your house to where it's at. I wouldn't even recommend you put it up under your house. No gasoline, no nothing. If you're gonna get gasoline, put it in a container and keep it far away from your house, as far as you can go. And if you gotta get a chain, put some gasoline in a bucket with a lid. Make sure that it's sealed, vacuum sealed, and tie it around a tree with the chain and keep it far away from your house. You guys, I know about all this stuff is crazy because I'm so used to like survival stuff. I've done camping. I've lived outside. I've lived in a damn RV trailer. I know about off the grid living. I'm just telling you, under this current administration, if you don't have some kind of survival plan in place, you're not going to make it. What I really want to say is a shit hitting the fan scenario. You need to prepare for something like that. So with us knowing all this, with the tariffs and everything that's happening, why are people still out here trying to have babies, get married with everything going on? You're not gonna make it under those types of circumstances. You're just not gonna make it, you guys. But yeah, we don't need any more men on the planet. We definitely don't need any more babies on the planet. We don't need it because right now the planet is chaotic and the planet cannot breathe. It can't breathe. And this is why all of this is happening. This is why all this weird stuff is happening right now. Another thing you ladies can do is when you do get your bottled water, put you some fruits in your water. It will keep you from getting dehydrated out, and it will purify you. Actually need to get some strawberries, cut them up, and put them in my water, because certain fruits are antioxidants where they can help release purities out of you. Lemon water, strawberry water, kiwi, different fruits, oranges, mandarins. Add this in your water. It will keep you energized and hydrated. And, I need to do that along with meditation, because it's really what I need to do. I got a lot of meditation, inner work, inner stuff that I need to do, shadow work stuff that I need to do, grounding work. Right now, you guys need to be focusing on like healing, just trying to maneuver in all of this crazy energy that's going on right now. I do believe and feel like I'm going through a transformation right now, you guys, a shift of energy, and it's really painful what's happening, you know, but it's all part of the shifts and changes that I'm going through. Like I said, you're gonna want to take care of yourself in the season, and be careful what you're putting out here, and be very protective of your energy and who you give it to, who you surround yourself around. Crystals are really good right now to have to protect your energy from these vampiric types of men who are just out here energy harvesting women. You can get you some protective wear, protective necklaces. Put yourself in a protective bubble right now. Keep your boundaries up. Keep your energy from transmuting out. Start blocking toxic people, negative people, harmful people, manipulative people. You want to be careful of these distractions. People who are just coming here to take from you. There are crystals that can protect you from these types of energy. Actually, when I get off of here, I got to do some light work healing. Okay, you just got to protect yourself right now. You got to protect your energy. Because if you don't protect your energy and you don't have boundaries, these men are going to drain you of nothing and deplete you to nothing. So this is about you ladies taking your power back, reclaiming your energy back. Stop arguing with these men. Stop going back and forth with these men. Put your boundaries down. Let your boundaries be known. And that's it. Going back and forth with these men, they're just going to drain you. Yes, the matriarchal system is the only way that we're going to heal. That's the only system that's going to work right now, that has ever worked in history. What has happened, why the patriarchal system is here, is because men manipulated the system. And man turned his back on God. And then the patriarchal system was created. All men did was take things from the matriarchal system, incorporate it into the patriarchal system, and said that it was theirs. Before there was a patriarchal, there was a matriarchal. That is the only system that is going to bring balance back on the planet. That is going to restore, that is going to be healing on the planet. The patriarchal system is not about healing the woman, it's not about healing the planet, it's not even about healing the children or the animals. Under the matriarchal system, women protected the animals. Women were the nurturers and the providers on the planet. We brought the food back to the tribes. Anything that women touch, it is healing. Anything that we touch, we bring life to the planet. We are the resource to the planet. Without the woman, the planet ceases to exist. Look at the birth rate. It's plummeting because one man is not having babies with man. The reason why this is happening is because man has turned his back on God. He has rebelled against God. And this is why women are opting out, because that is not the natural order of life. It's not the natural system. The patriarchal system is a man-made system that was put here, that was created by man for man, just like the Bible was put here for man to control man. All of those laws in the Bible were there to keep men in order. But man has not been following the word of God. He has not been living according to the word of God because he's been rebelling against God. And when you start rebelling against God, you then begin to curse everything that you touch. Everything becomes cursed. Everything becomes cursed. So if the man is not in order, neither will the women and the children be in order. Nobody's going to be in order. Yes, because man is not taking care of the planet. How can man take care of the planet when he lacks empathy and sympathy for mankind, the animals, the babies, and the children and the women? Women carry empathy, sympathy. We are the natural leaders, protectors, and providers of the planet. And men do not want women to know that, because then they would have to take accountability for the fact that they have been lying to women. Men, you are not the natural leaders, protectors, or providers. It is women. And without women, you cease to exist. Everything women touch, we bring life to the planet. Everything. And what men have done, they have dimmed the light in women by using the patriarchal system and their toxic masculinity against women like a weapon. What am I saying? Men have become a weapon against women. So instead of men honoring the divine feminine and damn near, I won't say worshiping women, they are rebelling against women, because how dare women get out here and can have a baby and carry a baby for 9 months? How dare they can get out here and bring light to the planet? How dare they can do this? How dare they can do that? And men are angry with not only themselves, they're angry with God. And they're angry with women because we hold so much power in what we bring to the planet. And like I said, men, if you guys do not change your ways and turn from your wickedness, you're going to die alone. You're going to die a miserable way. Men should be kissing the ground women walk on. Literally. But how dare women can get out here and have a baby and life can form in the belly of a woman. Yes, that's miraculous. That's like marvelous. We can bring a baby here and it can grow in our wombs. And there are men out here who envy women who can have babies. There are men out here who are like they envy that. They hate the fact that women can get out here and bring life to the planet like that, and they don't have that reproductive system. They don't have the ability to do that. And this is why they're coming after women's reproductive rights, because they know how powerful our wombs are. They know how powerful our intimacy is. They know how powerful we are in general, but they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that you are powerful and you have that ability. They want you to be dumb and naive and not know anything about thyself. And see, no man can come here on this channel and tell me about who I am, because I know who I am and I know how powerful I can be and I know who I can be to the planet. And my purpose is not here to be an incubator. My purpose is not here to be a punching bag for a man, a doormat for a man. My purpose is not here to be a breeding host. My purpose is not here to be cattle slavery. My purpose is not here to be chattel slavery for men, to be a wife, to be a bang maid, to be a nurse with a purse. That's not my purpose. See, men don't want you to have a purpose, because in order for them to need you and in order for you to be used, you got to be dumb to the patriarchal system. You got to be naive to men. And the only way that they can use you is through manipulation. Because men don't know how to just be their authentic selves and operate under self-love and operate under empathy and care. They don't know how to just simply be that. They don't know how to just coexist in that. They don't know, because they don't have that component. They don't have those abilities. They don't have those functions to just simply be that. Yeah. Yeah, because these men they hate themselves. They hate their whole entire species. They hate their gender. So they hate so much to the point where they become just what they hate. They hate themselves so much and they hate women so much that they just become just what they hate. And I'm gonna say this, and I know that this may come off crazy, but a lot of these men who no, not a lot of these men, a lot of these, yeah, a lot of these men who hate women, when they die, they come back and they reincarnate into male identified women. So a lot of these male identified women that you're seeing online, a lot of them in the past life used to be men who hated women. And when they came back to learn their lessons here, because Earth is just like ghetto school, they come back here and they reincarnate. If you believe in that concept, they reincarnate into the male centered women that we see online. So a lot of times when you guys are talking to male centered women, they have the energy of a masculine, but they're women. But they're women. It is because they were reincarnated in many lifetimes where they absolutely hated the other gender. Just like I believe in the past life I was a man, so I came back as a woman. And I'm not trying to come back to this ghetto ass place. So I hope I get whatever I need to learn right now, because I ain't no way in hell I'm gonna redo this shit over again. I mean that. Whatever needs to be done, whatever I need to learn, it need to be learned in this goddamn lifetime. Because I refuse to come back and do this shit all over again. I refuse to do that. Look, whatever lessons I need to learn, it need to be learned. I need to get it. Ain't no way in hell I'm coming back to this ghetto ass place. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't that just absolutely not. Absolutely not. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. So a lot of these male-centered women that you ladies are talking to, a lot of them used to be men in the past life. And they hated women, so they reincarnated and they came back. They came back as women, as male-centered women. So they have the bodies of women, but the energy of men. And a lot of these men who hate women, they're going to come back like women just like that. Just like these black men who sit up online and they talk about black women and they hate black women, Guess what they're gonna come back as? They're gonna come back as racist non-black men. See, when you keep putting this energy out there into the universe, you eventually become this energy as time goes on. So a gay man who dresses like a woman, guess what he gonna come back as a woman. And the most loving people that I've ever met were gay men, queer men, trans men. But his cis straight men, no. I absolutely love gay men because they operate under divine masculine and feminine energy at the same time. So if you ever want to know how it feels to be, with a man and have a healthy relationship with a man. Now, I'm not saying that there's not gay men out here who don't like straight women. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in my experience, every relationship that I had loving or was kind, it came from a gay man. It came from a queer man. Baby, queer men were the ones who told me how to dress. They were the ones who put relaxers in my hair, gay men. Baby had my hair growing, okay? Fingernails growing. I know it. I'm friends with a gay man. Gay is all outdoors, nothing but sugar in the booty. But I promise you one thing. He has never, ever disrespected me. He is the most loving, kind person that I've ever met. And I went to school with this guy. I went to school with him. And he absolutely loves women, y'all. He is so kind and so funny. But I can't say that about cis straight men. And then, a lot of women, they envy or they turn away from LGBTQ people because of societal standards and expectations. And then, they get out here and they have lesbophobic, biophobic tendencies. You know, views towards LGBTQ people. LGBTQ people have never done anything wrong to me. Never, you guys. But I can't say that about cis straight men. So if you ever want to be friends with somebody, I recommend a gay man. A gay man. Find you one of these gay male friends. Because I promise you one thing, he's never gonna he's not attracted to you. Honey, he'll be attracted to your man if you got one. But I promise you, he'll never come on to you as a cis straight woman. Because even the gay male friend has never came on to me. Never came on to me. Never ever came on to me, you guys. Bisexual man, yeah. He likes men and women. But I promise you, a gay man, a queer man will protect you over a straight man. And I'm telling you what my experiences have ever been. You ever want to be friends with women, get with you a lesbian friend. And not every lesbian woman wants to be with you. I'm not going to sit here and say that they may not be attracted to you, but I promise you, they're not going to cross any lanes with you like what cis straight men do. And let me tell you this, a lot of gay men pretend to be friends with lesbian women for ego boost. I'm friends with lesbian women. I'm friends with straight women, and I've never came on to them. Do I find some of my straight friends attractive? Yeah, but I know they have husbands, and I'm never going to cross those lanes. But I'm not going to sit here and say if the opportunity never presented itself, I wouldn't take it. Because then I would be lying. And I did try that with one of my friend girls when her husband came on to me. I said, baby, I'm not interested in you, but your wife, yes. Let me have your wife. And he says, what? Y'all, he thought he saw a ghost. He said, excuse me, do what? I bet you he got the cotton out his ear that damn day. And he thought I was after him. No, sir. Give me your wife. Give me my friend girl. She's like, what? He was like, what? So this is what's going on when y'all two together? I says, no. When us two are together, we're talking about your ass. And she says, Akina, I never thought you felt like that. I was like, girl, I had to say something to get your husband away from me, but and I in honesty and actuality, he said, well shit, we could just do a whole threesome. I says, no, that's not the moral of the story. I'm not interested in you, but your wife, yeah, I can have her. Y'all should have saw the look on his face when I said that. He said, damn, I got to keep you away from my wife. I says, no, I was friends with your wife before she became your friend. I know more about you than what you think you don't know. Y'all should have saw the look on this man's face. He said, God damn. He said, I ain't nothing I can do with you. You too much. But one thing is for sure, I would never have to worry about my wife cheating on me with another man. Shit, it would definitely be somebody like you. I said, exactly. And then that shit turned him on. I thought he was going to be against it. No, it actually turned his ass on. So I hope things worked out with their marriage. I really hope it, because they're still having conflict, you guys. But no, I would never come on to my friend girls like that. But like I said, if the opportunity presented itself with shit, that's a whole different damn story. And I recommend that you women explore that. Explore that avenue. You might be surprised. And if you're just not attracted to women, you're just not attracted to women. But if that curiosity is there, explore it. You may be surprised. Women's energy is neutral. Unlike men's energy, that shit is chaotic. But if you tell a man you're gonna be intimate with another woman, watch how it turns his ass on. It just turns men on when they know two women are in bed together. It's healing for women to embrace each other and to be around each other. Why do men want to keep including themselves into women's spaces and business like that? Even when we're on here, we can't even congregate amongst each other unless a man is coming through stirring up some shit. And even if you are a woman married to a man, tell your husband you want to have some fun with a woman and see how he responds. I bet you that shit would turn him on. I want to bet? Come back and tell me about it. But there are just some straight women out here, they're not going to do that because they're not attracted to women. So don't do anything you're not attracted to. Are my friend girls attracted to women? I think the curiosity is there, but they won't do anything because they're so patriarchal. You know what I'm saying? But they have said, well, Akina, if I really want to explore that, I know it would be with you. And I'm like, wait a second. What the hell are we saying here? And I said, I couldn't do that with y'all. We've been friends since high school. And he says, I know it. We trust you. We trust you, but we wouldn't do that with any other woman. We trust you though. And I'm like, well, shit, who is we? All of us. If we didn't have our husbands, we would have fun together. And I'm like, yeah, let's not talk about this anymore. They're like, yeah, we're not. But the curiosity is there because that's just women. You guys have been conditioned to believe that being intimate with another woman is wrong. And some of these men are attracted to men, but they're undercover beards laying next to you. A lot of your husbands and boyfriends and men that you're attracted to, they really want men. But they got to pretend that they like you because of the patriarchal system. I'm encouraging men to get out here and date other men. Hey, if you men need any advice on makeup or how to dress, hey, holla at your girl. I got you. Okay, I got you. But I strongly recommend that women need to explore that. Explore your sexuality. And I've told you guys that over here. Explore your sexuality. Do something creative with your energy. I told you guys about the sexual toys. Go buy you some lingerie. Explore your body. Learn your body. Heal your body. A lot of you have gone through sexual trauma. And Kundalini, I'll have to do another live about Kundalini energy. I'll have to do another live about um how to release trauma from the body sexually. There are books out here that can teach you how to do that. Um, where you can kind of get your body out of that state into a more healthier state where it's more healing and therapeutic for you. You can learn what your body likes and what it does not like. Put you some sexy lingerie on, relax, use your toy, play you some music, drink you some wine, embrace your body, embrace and love yourself. It's all healing, it's therapeutic. It is to release any kind of sexual trauma that you may have gone through. It's something that, SMEX therapists teach their clients what to do and all this stuff here. If there's too much trauma going on there, then yeah, you do need a professional. But there are books out there that can teach you how to heal your body from trauma. Okay. But you got to learn your body. You got to hear your body's voice. Things that turn your body on, things that stimulate your body, stimulate your mind. Okay. These are things that will heal you. Okay. And that's ultimately what the key is. This is about healing the divine feminine. Getting outside, walking barefooted with no shoes on, touching grass, literally, connecting with the planet, connecting with Mother Earth, okay? Healing yourself. Because this patriarchal system is hurting women, you guys. You guys, some of y'all are under decades of trauma under this system. That's the reality. A lot of y'all have been hurt so bad under the system, so you need decades to heal from it. You need decades to heal from this system. And if you ladies really want to heal under this system, connect with women. Connect with women. Surround yourself around women. Surround yourself around Mother Nature. Get involved in all women's communities and groups. Get you a tribe. Because that is where your healing is going to come from. Connecting with the planet and healing yourself through other relationships and bonds with other women. And that's what men don't want. Men don't want the all women communities and tribes. But that's really the only system that's going to heal women. That is the matriarchal system. Matriarchal energy is going to heal everything. But no, men didn't want a woman president. Men didn't want Kamala Harris in the White House. We would not be here if Kamala Harris had been in the White House. But men were terrified of that energy. So they didn't want that. They didn't want that. And you men are going to learn that the patriarchal system is not going to benefit you either. Because if y'all honestly think voting for Donald Trump and voting for this current administration is going to be a benefit for you, you have not seen any. You guys are going to learn what the patriarchal system is really about, because things are about to get really, really hard for you men out here. You think you going through a male loneliness and a dry dick episode right now. You haven't seen nothing yet. Because let me tell you something, men. For women, we can be real creative with our bodies. We can be real creative. You can take away the toys, but we still got 5 fingers. And guess what? We still got each other. Because I believe, and I don't have my cards in front of me, some of these women are going to start getting in lesbian relationships with women. You men, y'all just the best up. Y'all think y'all gonna get some kitty cat. Y'all ain't getting nothing, because women gonna be out here with each other getting kitty cat. And I hate to sound graphic, especially these women who are hypersexual that are repulsed by you men. Because see, I'm asexual over here. I don't need smecks to be satisfied. You men need it though. And a lot of these hypersexual women out here who are turned off by you men, what you think they gonna do? They gonna get out here and find them a lesbian girlfriend and get their groove on. And guess what? They don't have to worry about no STDs, no STIs, no pregnancy or nothing. So I don't know what you men thought y'all were doing. Oh man, this is all about the backfire for you men, because y'all thought Y'all thought voting for Donald Trump was gonna do something. No, you men are gonna hurt. Y'all gonna hurt y'allself. Y'all think y'all going through a male loneliness epidemic right now? You have not seen anything yet. Because y'all really about to experience a dry lip episode here in a moment. Y'all really about to feel what it means not to have access to women. When you talking to a woman and she ain't saying nothing to you and she's not turned on by you, that's already happening. Women don't even want to talk to you men in grocery stores. What were you been thinking when y'all voted the way you voted? And we just in the beginning phase of what's getting ready to happen. Woo! But we about to see a rise of lesbian relationships, y'all. These women who are turned on by men, who don't want nothing to do with a man under this administration, what you think they gonna do? They gonna get out here and find them a lesbian girlfriend to be with. Because I've been in some of these 4B spaces. These women are looking for girlfriends now. Women who are not male-centered and not pick-me's and not out here chasing male eggplant. These are going to be the women who are going to get with each other. I can see it coming down the pipeline. And then there would be a subcategory of women who are not going to be out here doing that, who are going to just be asexual and celibate. But for these certain types of women who are hypersexual, who still need to get their groove on, they're going to do that with a woman. And I can see that coming, you guys. I can see that coming. Because in the matriarchal world, that's what women did. Mm-hmm. That's what women did. They had with each other. And when they wanted to repopulate the planet, they went out and selected the best type of man to reproduce with. That's called natural selection. But in the matriarchal world, that's what women did. And they were not shunned for that. Because it was all healing and therapeutic for them. In other words, women heal each other. But when you're dealing with a man, he cannot heal you. Maybe he's going to take away from you. His energy is to receive, not give. Your energy is giving. His energy is receptive. It's receiving. So if women want to get out here and explore that, I see nothing wrong with it. Explore it. Explore it. And if there's a curiosity about that, explore that avenue. You would be surprised where it may take you. You know how many cis straight women that I've met who got out here and have been sleeping with men and they got a taste of sleeping with a woman, they never went back to another man again. I know a woman like that. She never went back to another man again. Actually, the lesbian woman took her from her husband. It liked him and killed that man. And this is why a lot of lesbian women keep their business private. Because a lot of men cannot handle that. No. So if you're going to explore that world, keep that to yourself. Keep your mouth closed and keep that to yourself. Because a lot of these men cannot fathom the fact that he lost you to another woman. Yeah. Lesbian couples are getting unalived out here behind men who can't fathom that. Please, for your safety, keep your mouth closed in that area. You find you somebody, you both clean, you both mutual on this, you both agree, keep that to yourself. Because if you tell a man that, he may not take that well. No. And trust me, I know. Some of these men, they're infatuated by that, and then some of these men don't like that. They will absolutely unalive you if you're in that world. Yeah. And if you're just not attracted to women, then this isn't for you. But there are women out here who are curious about that. Explore it. You have nothing to lose. I mean, you can possibly gain some things, but you have nothing to lose because you don't have to worry about STDs, you don't have to worry about STIs, and you don't have to worry about pregnancy. And you're with your own kind. You might enjoy it. It may teach you some things about yourself that you didn't know about yourself. And I don't know how I got off into this subject, but I think it's all a part of the matrix of energy that can be healing for you women. Because you women need to heal under this system. And you need to find a way to heal. You need to find a way to breathe in this system and heal from what the patriarchal system has done to you. You need to release that energy. And it needs to be released in a healthy way, whether it's through grounding, meditation, arts and craft, nature walking, traveling, painting. You need to find an outlet that can help you to release that trauma, release those repressed emotions, help you to connect more with your spiritual side. For me, it's meditation. Meditation is so healing for me, you guys. It is so therapeutic for me. Grounding is so therapeutic for me. Getting outside in nature, connecting with my animals are so therapeutic for me. And this is why a lot of women have cats in their homes, because it brings in that healing element. You guys have to you got to find your niche so that you can heal under this system from the trauma that men have caused you. Whatever experiences you've had with men under this system, you got to find an outlet. You got to find a niche. Get your vitamins, drink your water, stay hydrated. Put your She Moisture on your body. Put your buttercream on your body. Heal your body. Heal yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. That is what 4B women should be doing right now. Healing yourself, journaling, writing, traveling, whatever you need to do to heal under this system. Emotionally heal. There are plenty of videos on YouTube, healing videos, meditations that you can do to heal from emotional trauma, heal from mental trauma, heal from manipulation, heal from it all. Everything that this system has done to you, you can heal. Even the foods that you're eating can be healing. Go back to the plant-based foods. If you're vegan, find you some vegan meals to eat. Go back to where the healing is for your body. Put you some fruits in your bodies, different nuts into your bodies. Anything that can heal you internally, mentally, exercise, yoga, cycling, walking, anything that can get your body moving so that energy can get the moving. Then there's the sexual healing. I told you ladies to go buy you some lingerie, get you some candles, light them in your bedroom, put you on some romantic music, and stimulate your body and stimulate your mind. It's healing. Your body what's going on with women? The patriarchal system has overwhelmed women to the point where your bodies are so overwhelmed. It's in flight or fight mode because men are creating chaotic energies on the planet. And your body does not have time to process what's happening and heal from the trauma of men because they're projecting this trauma onto you ladies when they're connecting with you, or male violence or misogamy. You got to heal from that. We're all victims under this system. You got to find a way to heal. You got to find a way to preserve your energy and literally heal your energy so that men are not taking, because that's what they're doing. They're harvesting the feminine energy. I do not let men touch me. I don't let men get near me. I don't even shake hands with people. I don't hug people because it's transmuting of energy. You got to protect your energy, ladies. You notice the happiest women that are on the planet are single women who are living off the grid. You guys, I know women who are living off the grid and they're out in the middle of nowhere and they're healing. People who live off the grid, they don't have to worry about sickness or nothing because they're in nature. Nature is where your healing is going to be. If the weather permits you tomorrow, get outside, touch some grass, walk around barefooted. I have my spring and summer dresses. I sometimes walk around and I play with my cat in the yard and we roll around and we have fun. And I'm barefooted in the yard. I'm embracing flowers. I'm smelling flowers. I'm watching the clouds. I'm sun gazing. I'm cloud gazing. You just got to be free. That's the key. Nature is where the healing is going to be for you women and healing under the system. What men have done, they have overwhelmed women so bad. And women's bodies are just shutting down, you guys. When I say that your bodies are shutting down, I'm talking about where you just can't take any more energy from men. Sometimes my daughter comes outside and we do meditation. You breathe in for 4 seconds, you release for 8 seconds. Hold it and then release. Meditation. That is where your healing is going to be. Do the meditation, grounding, working with your crystals, working with different types of herbs of the planet. There are different herbs that are therapeutic and healing. I drink my teas. I have my peppermint tea. I have my ginger tea. When these men get on my damn nerves, I make up me a tea. I make up me a tea. When my nervous system is shot, I got to pull out the tea. I sprinkle oils on my pillow to help me to relax. Because when your body is constantly in a state of constant adrenaline where it's under stress all the time, your body cannot reset. And women who are under the patriarchal system, your body is going and going, going and going, going and going. You got to serve the man. You got to put the man above you. You got to please the man. You got to cater. Got to take care of the house. Got to cook. Got to take care of the kids. Versus single and child-free women, we don't have to go through that. Because let me tell you, like on an evening like this, baby, my house would be clean. I would light my candles and I put oils in my candles. You guys, I make my own candles, but I put oil in my candles. And another thing, I make all of my candles from beeswax, which is so smooth when it burns. That wick does not burn out. So I just want to throw that out there. And I make my candles out of different oils. So as you're burning the candles that I make, you're going to smell those oil infusions through your home. That is going to be therapeutic and healing. And I need to do that probably the weekend. Light me one of my beeswax candles. And sometimes I come outside, you guys, and I have my tea or my lemonade. And I'm reading a book and I'm meditating and I'm relaxing your mind. Your mind needs to relax. You need to shut your mind off. Because like I said, what's going on? Women's bodies are overwhelmed under the patriarchal system. Because you men have overwhelmed women so bad. You have made the patriarchal system to be so unsafe for women. Till we just I like I told you guys, women are just the 4B women are in hibernation cycle right now. Because our bodies need to heal from this system. But the only women who are out here doing and doing and doing and pleasing and pleasing and pleasing are the pick-me's and the male-centered women where they're exhorting their energy to male validation. And you guys need to go check out Tracy's live about why men don't want pick-me's. Because the men are not checking for the pick-me's. No, they're too busy trying to chase after women like me who don't want to be bothered. So that is where the healing is going to come from, ladies. Yeah. Yes, I know that lots of men do like watching two women being in bed together, but I heard and I know women who love watching two. Yeah, yeah. But I'm just suggesting that women should just explore that creativity energy because it's very healing when two women are together. It's therapeutic. It's healing. Um, you ladies would be surprised where that energy goes. But I'm not telling women to do this if that's not something you want to do. You should explore it if that's something that you want to do. It should be an area that you should explore if you're comfortable exploring. But I am going to do another live about that. I've been on here a little bit over an hour. I appreciate you, sis. I can never say your name right. Tahara, I think I said your name right. I can never say your name right, sis. While you're in here, I do need to mod you up while you're in here. I don't know, like YouTube is so weird. Let me mod you up while you're in here because you've been coming to my channel a lot. You're live. You a mod. Ooh, it's so hot. I just made you a mod, sis. You gotta decenter men because as long as you keep centering men, you're never gonna heal. You're never going to move forward. You're never gonna grow. Some of these men purposely keep women stagnant so that you can't move forward, you can't heal, you can't grow, you can't do anything. So many women should be successful right now, but you can't be successful because of the man that you're with. He jealous of your success. Decenterment is the only way, baby, you're gonna heal. Getting you a yoga class, martial arts class. Get outside and do some grounding work, meditation, anything to heal your mind, your body, your spirit. Eat healthy, drink water. That is how you're going to heal. That's how you're going to heal. It's the only way you ladies are going to heal under this system. And as you ladies continue to come over here, I will mod you up. I was intending to mod you up last time to her, but I didn't do it because when I go live, I don't think about all that. And I know the men are gonna be upset. Oh, Akina is telling women to get out here and sleep with women. Yes, I am. Yes, I am telling women to explore that if they want to explore it. Because it's therapeutic, it's healing. And a lot of you men are selfish in bed. You ain't trying to please your woman who you with. You too busy trying to get yours, and you want her to do everything for you in the bed, but you ain't pleasing her. And then a lot of y'all are coming back with STDs and STIs and them eggplants, and you dropping that parasitic sperm in women, and they having all kind of HPV and all kind of bacterial fungus. Ain't nobody got time for that. It's been statistically reported that STDs with women sleeping with each other is low compared to them sleeping with men. It's married women and partner women who are coming back with STDs from sleeping with men. So if you don't want to catch an STD, then get with you a woman. But make sure the woman that you're sleeping with is clean and not out here sleeping around. With all these STDs going around, you want to practice safe sex and make sure that the person that you're sleeping with is safe. You know what I'm saying? But it's been statistically reported that the only women who are not catching STDs are single women and women who are sleeping with women. The only women out here catching STDs are married women and partner women who are sleeping with men who are not being monogamous. And I know that this is going to upset the men, but it's the truth. So if women want to have some fun time, they're better off doing that with a woman. And ladies, build you a good relationship with this woman. Before you become intimate with her, build a good friendship with her and build that bond with her before y'all start sharing yourself with each other. But yeah, I'm encouraging you ladies to explore that. Because women are going to be out here, they're not sleeping with men. They got to get the kinks off with other people, and they're going to sleep with women if there's not sleeping with men. So I'm going to get up here, you guys, because I need to go eat. And I will be back on here later in the week. But you guys definitely have a good evening. Be safe, take care. I appreciate all of you, and be safe. Sending you guys positivity and love and healing.